So Lai Yong, your latest book is called Encountering COVID, Embracing Covenant, Engaging Community. COVID, I think we can all understand, was surrounded by it. This is our life for the last year. But how do you see covenant and community tying in to COVID? Explain the title of your book.
COVID, it struck us like a storm. I was in Oman in early January, then came back, landed at the airport, safe distancing, sanitizers, and it threatened to divide us. God's covenant is uniting us eternally, always bringing us together. And when we embrace God's covenant again, it brings us out of the lethargy and the busyness, thinking that we get by on our own strength, and now we can't, not with COVID. And when we embrace God's covenant, God always directs us back to the community, to receive help, to share, to exercise compassion, and to find hope.
One of the communities that we can't interact with now is the overseas community. So the talk that we have right now is about missions in our backyard. We can't go there, but there is something that we can do over here. So what do you think this phrase, this concept, missions in our backyard, what does it mean to you?
It describes a reality which should not have happened. The migrant workers, the foreign students, the new immigrants, they never should have been our backyard. As far as the church is concerned. They were always in the front yard and the front focus of God's love. Our churches have, over the years, grew, but yet we have grown quite homogeneously. If there are high numbers of foreigners in our land, then why are there not high numbers of foreigners in our churches? So COVID has awakened us to this stark reality. And we can't do much about it unless we rediscover God's love. And God's love propels us, gives us the mandate to move afresh alongside these communities. Yes, it is now missions in the backyard, but it is the front yard.
I'm sure you have a good story about this.
Recently, we started planting trees in the new dormitories. We all knew that during COVID, because of the clustering and congestion, migrant workers bore the brunt of the infection. And so the government, rightly did so, built new dorms. Singapore is a garden city. We have trees everywhere. When we visited the dorms, we found that there were less trees. And so we said, since the workers beautified our condos and our hospitals and our schools, why not we plant trees with them? So of course we do not know how to plant trees. And
because they've done it for us, right?
They've done it for us. And when we entered into their dorms, nicely spaced, there were not enough trees, so we planted trees under their guidance. And our volunteers found that they were experts, they were detailed, they were craftsmen, they were careful. And then as we left, we asked one of the workers, where did you learn tree planting? And he very humbly said, well, I have a bachelor's degree in botany.
Wow.
And we knew what city he was. His city has millions of people. For him to get into university, he's smart. Just he didn't have the economic opportunities to continue his study. And so he came here as a gardener, grass cutter, landscape worker. It humbles us. And these are the people we should be engaging.
So help me make sense of this. Where is the covenant in this?
The covenant is because God created each one of us. The covenant is whichever land and region we come from, Christ died for all. That is the covenant.
Just to pick up on the point that Lai Yong just shared about tree planting. You know, the government has announced that they will plant 1 million trees.
1 million trees.
Over the next 10 years. That's 100,000 trees per year. That's 9,000 trees per month. That's 300 trees per day to be planted. Who's going to plant all these trees? Our friends, right, from the migrant communities. So their contributions to our society is very, very palpable, but we actually cannot have a sense of their labor and their sacrifices. It's just invisible to us. So hopefully, I think in this course of handling the pandemic last year, you know, we have an idea of the contributions that the community makes to us and the sacrifices that they had to make.